What I did tonight was I went and saw Lightyear with my kids.
How was that?
It was actually really good. It was. I thought it was really well put together. There's some moments that are like, yeah, but the writing was actually surprisingly good. It did a lot of callbacks to obviously Toy Story, giving you the origins of whatever his little sound bites are and like little lines that he had. It doesn't. It doesn't ever show Andy or the toys. So like there was no, like, everyone was freaking out because of the movie poster that came out with like him sitting in the theater with the toys. But you don't see anything of that I saw. I mean, I didn't stay for post credits, but it was
the post credits scene for the Pixar cinematic universe.
Yeah.
The PCU. It sounds like a drug.
Well, I was just surprised because I think people were the reviews seemed to be all over the place. Like at first I was seeing the reviews were bad and that it wasn't a good movie. And then I started seeing like the critic reviews were low, but the audience reviews were high. So that generally means that the movie was probably pretty good.
It didn't have enough of the message in it.
Well, that's the thing is like there was a whole bunch of controversy about this movie and there being like a gay kiss in it or whatever. I don't know if it got removed or if I just didn't notice it, if it happened really fast.
Oh, you got the China version of it.
Yeah, maybe. It was totally harmless. They're like whatever relationship that they were referring to was extremely quick and it was not focused on it. Yeah, it was like a very fleeting sort of relationship that took place with a character that was in the movie for 10 minutes. But it was good. I mean, it follows like Buzz Lightyear's origins in like Star Command and as a space ranger. For a kids movie, it was really well done. Even like the struggles that happen throughout it are not, especially for the female counterpart, are not at all. I mean, they're real hardships, and they actually do have to go through some really challenging things and figure it out and come together as a team. So I thought that was a really, really refreshing.
I was hoping they wouldn't mess up this movie, which I mean, they're just rewriting Buzz Lightyear's story, I guess, but whatever. I'm not going to whine about it too much.
Well, see, that's the thing. I guess I went into it not knowing any Buzz Lightyear lore. Whatever lore they deliver in Toy Story is about all I know. And it was like, I think they included all that and then just expanded more on like, cause it's so the Space Ranger Corps or whatever that he's in charge of, or that he's a part of, isn't actually formed until like the end of the movie. So this is like pre all of that. They're trying. So like he's in a spaceship with his female counterpart, and they are.
I like how you say female counterpart.
Well, her name is Hawthorne, I guess. I mean, no one knows who she is or whatever. Like she's a character that never shows up anywhere else except for here. So Hawthorne, his partner, Hawthorne, his partner, is like they go and investigate this planet. They're trying to find a habitable planet, and they have a bunch of cryo frozen people in storage basically. And they go out on the planet. They discover it's hostile with like hostile plants and some hostile fauna. And Buzz and her they're escaping, and they crash land back onto the planet again, and they need to figure out how to
get everyone
remake
home.
Well, yeah, but they need to remake crystallic fusion. Like they mentioned that in Toy Story, like, oh, have you discovered crystallic fusion? Are you still using fossil fuels? So they have to mine in this planet and like set up a little home, and then they have to perfect that like fuel canister or fuel system to be able to go to like light speed. So that's where like he basically is like testing this, but in the process, like they don't understand the theory of relativity at first. So he goes out for a 4-minute mission, but it ends up being 4 years on the planet, and he has to keep doing that to figure out this you know, the correct formula of the fuel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the fun thing is like the show itself, like that old cartoon. That's
Mhm.
not like that takes place like years after Lightyear's been like a veteran ranger. So
Yeah. So
hey,
that's
Disney, you could still fit this in.
right. No, so they did a good job. It was surprisingly really good. I was expecting to be like really let down, and I was expecting a lot of like woke bullshit,
Space
and like
woke.
Buzz. Well, it was. I mean, there was like moments where like, I mean, Buzz's character definitely, like in the beginning, he's this sort of like, and his like, and Hawthorne is definitely the more assertive, like in control one. But by the end, he sort of like comes around and he's a little bit more seasoned and he understands like what his job is and how to overcome certain things. So it wasn't, I mean, it was good. He ends up being the hero. It's not like it's a bait
So
and
he has
switch.
more development than Stephen Grant did in Moon Knight.
Right, right. The only thing I wasn't crazy about was Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear. I mean, I get
Yeah,
it because
a
it's a
lot of
younger
people wanted Tim
version.
Allen.
Yeah, but it makes sense because it is a younger version. I'm not even mad that they got rid of him because he's conservative or whatever. But like,
He's not even like an out and proud conservative. They just assume he's conservative because of things he said.
right. But yeah, it was good. I mean, Chris Evans did an okay job, but I all I thought was Captain America the whole time. So I was just kind of like, meh.
Don't worry, Chris Pratt will voice him in the sequel
Right.
because Chris Pratt's voicing every animated character like Mario and Garfield. I thought the Garfield was a joke until I looked it up and it's real.
Because I mean, I grew up with Toy Story. Toy Story was like, I remember seeing that when I was probably when I think the first one came out like 94.
94. It was the
So I would have
first
been 9.
fully animated, like 3D animated movie.
Yeah, I was 9 years old at the time. And between that one and the second one, my little brother would watch like every day. And at that point, I was about 15. And him and I used to watch that all the time. And I just grew up with it.
Yeah.
And
Toy Story 3 was the last movie I saw with my aunt, who I basically grew up, like she helped kind of raise me before she passed.
mhm.
And so like she basically put Toy Story into my mind as well as like Transformers and other like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Toy Story had a special place in my heart.
Yeah,
Sure.
and this paid homage to those films really well. And like I said, I don't think it did anything really negative to Buzz. Like again, unless I seriously missed something, it was not a film that like really, like if it did have anything woke in it, it was pretty subtle. And I thought it did the characters justice. I think it introduced some new characters pretty well. And because there's such a gap between like what we know of Buzz Lightyear and this, like they could essentially make another one. Which if I were a betting man, I would say that one would be more woke and probably a bait and switch between Buzz and the new girl. But they don't do that in this one. Like it's really very much
Right.
about Buzz.
The first one brings you, and the second one does the bait and switch because they have the audience now.